Hey, control freaks, how's it going? This is Paul from Neptune Systems, and we are here for a Let's Talk Reef. I'm super excited to be here, and because today I am talking about something that we've been kind of talking about, kind of not talking about, elephant in the room sort of thing, for I don't know, I was actually looking, it's been about a year since we said it was only a couple weeks away. So without further ado, today I'm going to be talking about the Trident Service Program, what it is, what it costs, how to get service, all of these sorts of different things. But first and foremost, just want to say, I've missed you guys, right? It's been literally since Christmas, I think, since we've all gotten together. And I have been, it's been busy, right? And so I definitely want to be doing the Let's Talk Reefs. The big issues that have come up so far that have prevented me from doing so have basically been two things. One, content. Okay, getting the content for things that people are going to be excited about and everything like that it's hard, And secondly, just time. Right, I'm pulled in a lot of different directions between keeping our support team well and keeping sales our team well, and just supporting all of those things to ultimately do my main focus to support you, our customer. Right, so without further ado, just going to check in with the man behind the curtain. Is everything going well, Vincent? Do we have Facebook? I'm not seeing any of the Facebook comments. Are they there? Are we streaming on Facebook? Can anyone tell me if we are streaming on Facebook? I could pull out my phone and see. Because all I'm seeing are all my cool YouTubers. Seeing Battle OCR, good to hear from you, man. Jeff Stevenson, nice to see you. It's live? Okay, cool. So, there's a Facebook comment. Awesome. So let's get into 2 minutes behind. So let's get into the details of the Trident Service Program. Okay, so it is now live on our website. And so I want to take us through kind of the page that I have built to document everything that the Trident Service Program is. And the first thing that we will address, in the Trident Service Program is, what is it, and why do I need to do it, and who needs to do it, right? So the first part of this is, what is it? Well, the Trident Service Program is basically for two things. One, it is a preventative maintenance, okay? There are things that wear out on the Trident, and I'm going to go through those things in a little bit, that need to be replaced over time. These include internal lines, these include peristaltic heads, these include cuvettes that need to be replaced after the Trident has been running for a period of time. What period of time are we talking about? When we first came out with the Trident, we were very transparent in saying that the Trident is going to take anywhere from, need to be serviced anywhere from 18 to 24 months. Right? We adjusted that last year and said 24 to 36 months. Okay, and we are just now going to be approaching that 36-month window here in May of this year. Okay, if you guys can believe, the Trident now in May it will have been 3 years since the Trident has been launched. And so that is the kind of preventative maintenance window that we typically recommend. So that means some of you are not yet due. That means some of you are due, but nobody is yet overdue. Okay? And so that is essentially the when, and now the why is basically to keep your Trident in good running format. The second why is, I'm not going to be bashful about it. Sometimes Tridents can have issues, right? Sometimes and we have detailed those issues on Let's Talk Reef before. We had a great episode I think about a month and a half ago when I had a support agent join me here, Carlos, in which we went through a lot of the kind of things that can kind of sort of go wrong on the Trident, right? And we disassembled a Trident, talked about how to correct those parts and things like that. Sometimes it's due to neglect, right? We all get busy, we understand. That isn't necessarily your fault. Sometimes it is due because we're talking about electronics, we're talking about mechanical components, and things don't always operate the way they're supposed to, right? Causing other unintended consequences. The good news is all of those things can be taken care of either by you, our customer, right? By working with our support team, by using the material that's available, or if you don't want to deal with any of that, you would also have the option to go with the Trident Service Program, in which you could just send your Trident in, or you could get a replacement Trident, or you could get the DIY service kit, but I'll go into that just a little bit more here in a few minutes. So I am doing a lot of talking. That's what happens when there is one person on the screen. So I just want to see do we have any comments or anything like that yet, Vincent, that need to be brought up? I don't know, my hair's not that short right now, Jeff. I mean, I'm actually due for a haircut, you know? The wife said, you're doing a live stream today, you need a haircut. So I'll take that for what it is. When will we talk about new products? We don't talk about the new stuff until the new stuff is ready. I will say part of my busyness is definitely some of that stuff. I would love to tell you about it, but hear no evil, say no evil, right? Okay. No real questions yet, huh, Vincent? Okay, so they're just biting at the bit here, hanging on my every word. How wonderful. Next thing is, what are the service options, right? Let's get into that right away. Vince, if you could bring up my iPad for me, that'd be great. Okay, so first off, here's the page, right? So this is a page that kind of details all that. Why and when should I service my Trident is all the stuff that I just talked about. And then guess what? There was a Let's Talk Reef last year that went over all the whys. So I've already done that part. If you wanted to watch that Let's Talk Reef again, you could. But we kind of glossed over a lot of the details of the service options because we were, weren't absolutely 100% certain, and B, we didn't want to get any misinformation out there. So today I'm going to go through everything that's included and all the service options and things like that. So what we are going to start with is our DIY service kit. Okay, and the DIY service kit is, can we go to the table view, Vincent? So here is the DIY service kit. It would more or less arrive to you like this. Let's carefully open it, right? So I can reuse this later. Maybe one of you will be lucky enough to receive the DIY service kit featured on Let's Talk Reef. Wouldn't that be exciting? All right, so the first part in the DIY service kit is a replacement head, okay? These are heads that you're very familiar with over time, right? And they spin, they have farm tubing in them, and they need to be replaced to be able to keep accuracy going and everything like that. That is one component of the service kit. It also has a new cuvette. There are lots of videos out there on how to clean the cuvette. Some people did a great job with that. So much so that I never even made one myself. But let's see if I can get this thing open without breaking anything. So it's here wrapped. So this is a nice new cuvette. Already got the tubing on it and everything like that. Inside the Trident, there are internal lines, and there are two internal lines that tend to get clogged more often than not. These are the internal sample and waistline assemblies, right? This will connect to different parts in the Trident and will be replaced in the service. You have new sample and waistlines, okay? And then we have this product right here, okay? This is something that we've kind of been working on for a little while, have been making it available. Honestly, I don't find many situations where it's applicable, but it is a sample line filter. Essentially, if your water has a lot of particulate matter, right? So you have a lot of fauna growing in your water column that gets sucked up into the Trident. This is a filter that we will start including with the DIY service kit, and eventually you'll start probably seeing them in Tridents as well. They're very simple to install, and at some point they will also become available to where you could purchase them optionally. I have been running one on my tank for almost a year and a half now. It still has not clogged and hasn't really caused any major issues. We did have one of our customers, right, who does have a lot of particulate matter, and he has to replace his about every 6 months or so. You know, the number of people that need this is probably going to be pretty small, but we said, you know what? Let's just make it available to everyone. It's not really going to cause any issues or anything like that. So that is everything that's included with the kit. Okay, and this is a service that you would do yourself. That's kind of the idea. All right, and we'll get into the how you service in this in just a little bit, but that's what's included in the kit, and the cost of that is going to be $75. Okay, that includes everything that you need here to be able to service the Trident, and is available through Neptune Systems to be able to get all these things. There was something, the head is probably the most expensive part, and also, you know, some of the other parts too were a little more than I wanted them to be as well. But let's move on here in terms of what the other options are. So the next option is a option that includes everything that we just saw. Obviously the DIY service kit, but includes the ability to send your Trident to Neptune Systems. Okay, so this is taking your Trident off of your system, sending it to us, and getting it serviced. You don't have to do a single thing. It also includes a 2-month reagent, and also includes the shipping from Neptune Systems back to you, our customer. It does not include the shipping from you to us. Okay, and that one, the ability to do the send and service option is going to cost $145, right? And so now I've brought out this nice chart. I think I'll just stick with this chart here moving forward. And then finally, we have probably our most premium option and by far our most popular option. Okay, that includes everything we just saw, except instead of including shipping only one way, it includes shipping both ways. And it is, what it is you will receive a refurbished Trident, a Trident that we've already done the service on, right? Already repaired, have done the factory calibration here at Neptune Systems, right? It will go through the exact production testing that a new Trident gets. So before we certify a Trident as ready to go to you, our customer, it goes through so many different tests, and the advanced replacement is going to go through the exact same testing process and approval process to make sure that it is not only precise and accurate, but make sure everything is working exactly as it should. This is going to cost $200 for the service. So this includes all of the shipping. This includes a new 2-month reagent kit and includes everything that you would need. It also requires a $100 deposit though, right? So this is so when you make your initial payment, right, it is going to be $299 in total, okay? We will then send out the refurbished Trident to you, and then you will replace that on your system. And then you will return that Trident, your old Trident, to us, and then we will give you back $100. Bing, bang, boom. Those are the 3 options. So, by far, I think what's going to be our most popular is the advanced replacement option. It is what I would say is our premium option. You have no downtime. You know that you're getting a Trident that's going to be working and everything like that. There are some downsides to it. You may get a Trident that has some cosmetic blemishes on it. You may get a Trident that doesn't behave exactly like your old one, right? But it is in with the production specifications as any Trident should be. Okay, but the nice thing about it is there's no down part, right? You know, there's no downtime in terms of the service or anything like that. So that is essentially where we are now. The next question that we're going to be able to see is how do I get service? Okay, so let's see if there's any questions, any kind of feedback. I haven't been looking at any of the comments or anything like that, you know. So some grief about the price of the DIY service kit. It is what it is, right? I do find that it's almost half the price of the send and service, but that is the price that we deemed would be effective. And if we ever do need to move this into our reseller channel too, it's where it needs to be and what it would be as from a retailer as well. Okay. Any other questions? So questions on when. So when you should get service. Again, we recommend this anywhere from 24 to 36 months. There's no way that I would recommend this service at all in the first year. If you are having any kind of trouble with your Trident and your Trident is less than 1 year of use, I'm not even saying 1 year of purchase. If it is less than 1 year of use, contact our support team. I think anyone who has been in touch with our support team, we more than stand behind your purchase of the Trident and want to make sure that you have the best option available. So if you don't necessarily want to do the service program and you want to go down the support avenue, right, reach out to our team. We make, we make sure that you, our customer, are very happy. What other kind of questions we got? It's 2 weeks for the send and service grid question. So how long does the send and service take? Well, it's going to be the time of shipping. All right. So if you are in Florida, the ground shipping time from Florida to Neptune Systems is 5 days. You add a day or two of processing time in there, business days. You're now at 7 to 8. Then you have the service time of 3 to 4 days. Right. You're about probably 12. I would say anywhere from 12 to 20 days without the Trident in the send and service. Fortunately, most systems that have been running for a long time on the Trident, the Trident controlled dosing is very consistent. So we also walk through that part in the process of you shutting that Trident down and sending it in to us to make sure that your dosing will be able to stay appropriate. All right, what else do we have? Anything else, Vincent? The shipping, again, on the send and service, you cover the shipping to us, we cover the shipping back to you. There is no local pickups or drop-offs or anything like that, so if you're local to Neptune Systems, I haven't ever thought of that variable until just now, but I mean, it does happen. I would say that you would be an exception and reach out to our support team if you really wanted to do something exceptional there. Anyone else? Just got a general question about reagents and the store time. So when you get a use by date, okay, the idea is that or a sell by date, your product will be good for 1 year from that time. So no issues there. Okay, anything else? How do you know when it's clogged? Well, you would be having all sorts of errors, we had a Let's Talk Reef a couple months ago. Maybe I'll drop it in the comments at the end of all this that goes through unclogging and things like that. Some other questions that are coming up that I'll address here in just a second, but let's move into the how do I get service part, all right? All right, so one thing that's kind of unique about this product that I wanted to make sure that you, our customer, was well taken care of is not selecting a service option that does not fit your needs, okay? And then also really helping you tease out if you really even want to do the service, right? Helping you do any kind of troubleshooting or things like that, giving you other solutions if you were interested to not do the service. So I felt that it might be just good to go through the form, kind of explain it so you guys can kind of see how this process will work. It works like any other form. It always kind of starts with your name. There we go. All right, so that's me, Mr. Paul Jansen. Booyah. My phone number, wouldn't you like to know? My email, I think everyone knows my email at this point, but don't contact me for support issues. I'll just forward your email on. Not that I'm not interested. So we have our first fork in the road. Do you currently reside in the United States and Canada? If that answer is yes, the gate will open and you can proceed on further. If that answer is no, right? No, I live elsewhere in the world. The Trident did not release outside of the United States and Canada until more than a year after the domestic release. So that means we are just going to be approaching the service window for those Tridents in July of that 24-month window in July of 2022. Okay, I expect to probably have this up and running internationally late fall. I'm going to work through kind of how it goes domestically over the next couple of months. And the solutions for our international partners, unfortunately, there's not a Neptune Systems there, which makes those things a lot easier. So at this time, if you were to need service or your Trident was not working and you are one of our international customers, guess what? You're going to have the opportunity to work with our fantastic support team. Okay? And so if your Trident is working fine, you just want to do preventative maintenance, please just hang on tightly. But let's say you live in the United States and Canada. You can fill out some questions of, do you know when you purchased it? Do you know how long you've had it installed? These are all things to kind of help you with that does my Trident need service question. And then you can put in a serial number. You can find the serial number by that link there, but I'll just kind of hold it up here. It's right there. There's a Trident serial number right underneath the reagent tray, okay? And you can pull that up. So we've got all that going. Oh, okay. So, based on the serial number, Trident service approved. Now the next question is, are you having a problem? If your answer to that is yes, would you like to troubleshoot it? You could say yes, okay? Then let's say, my Trident is leaking fluid, okay? Your Trident's leaking fluid, guess what? You're going into the service program, okay? There are other things as well, like, my Trident is no longer accurate, right? Typically, doing a service is not going to make your Trident more accurate. Could make it more precise, but accuracy with the Trident typically isn't going to be solved necessarily by the service program or something like that. It could be any number of things. So we do typically recommend that you reach out to our support team. But let's just say that you're leaking fluid and you want to move on to the service option. And you can just say, I don't want to troubleshoot, or I worked with your support team, here's my ticket number, any of those things, and you can just say next. Now we're to the point of helping you select your service, all right? So when you select your service, the first question I'm going to ask, is your Trident having mechanical issues? If the Trident is having mechanical issues or an error, that's going to direct us in a very specific way of what service we're going to recommend. So let's say, though, that your Trident is not having errors, or it is. Let's say it is having errors, okay? Next question is, are you comfortable paying $300 to have your Trident serviced? If that answer is yes, then okay. Next question is, are you okay with cosmetic blemishes? Get a little of my drawl in there. You could say, no, I'm not comfortable with that. And then, do you believe your aquarium can survive without the Trident for a period of time? Yes. So basically at that point, we recommend the send in service. We have some other questions if you wanted to answer them. You can answer them, not answer them. You can say, yes, you're mechanically inclined. Yes, you follow directions well. And no, you don't want to have a 45-minute video. All of those still things are the send in service. We say why we recommended that for you. Okay, but you could say, you know what, I don't want to do the send service. I want other recommendations, right? And at that point, you can have the advanced replacement or the DIY service option. But finally, right here is the point where you make your selection of what service option you want. Okay, so let's say, for example, you know what, I read all that, I want to do the DIY service kit. You can do that. Or you could say the send in service, or you could say the advanced replacement. At this point, you've gone through all the hoops, okay? And we want to make sure that you submit it, so you just now submit the form. What happens when you submit the form? In a couple minutes, you'll get this email that a new draft order has been created, right? You will then click on the link for that email, and that will take you to a checkout, right? Right now, because I'm still introducing the product in that, it is not in inventory, okay? So that's essentially how you do the service. So are there that was a lot of information. Vincent, you think I covered it all? Okay. I don't think I want to go through the form again or anything like that. So what do? You place your order, you pay for it. What happens next? Okay. And then I anticipated that question. So the next thing that happens is, if the advanced replacement, for example, you are going to first receive the refurbished Trident. Second, you're going to shut down your current Trident. And in the shutdown task, we walk you through removing reagents and all of those different things, okay? And disconnecting your Trident and all that kind of stuff. What you don't want to do is just unhook the cables, put the old Trident in a box, and then ship it back to us with liquid inside of it, okay? This does happen. To my amazement, people will pack up a Trident and leave all the reagent inside and just send it off to us. Unfortunately, the Trident doesn't do well in that situation. Then you're going to install the new one, and you install the new one just like you installed the Trident the first time. You get the walkthrough video where I'm going to take you through all the steps. And then finally, there is a task in Apex Fusion that essentially swaps the new Trident, the new refurbished Trident you received, into the place of your old Trident, so no changes need to be made. If you selected the send and service option, you're going to shut your Trident down, remove the reagent. You're going to ship it to us. You're then, if you're using Trident controlled dosing, I have a little kind of walk through here in terms of how to determine your normal dose, so your tank can continue to thrive while without the Trident. Basically, we're just taking what the average dosing is, and it's no longer going to be modulated. We're just going to basically think that that is going to cover that. Then you're going to get your Trident back. You're going to install it just like it's new, and then you're going to run the Trident replacement task. And then finally, for all you DIYers out there, I am pleased to introduce you to a Trident teardown video. And this video is a video that we released that I've been working on for some period of time. Look at how happy I look. Oh, wow. I'm excited to tell you about how to tear down the Trident. So this video walks you through everything, right? So the entire teardown of the Trident, how to remove everything, how to replace all of the different items and things like that. And it does it step by step. One thing I'm incredibly excited about with this video is that we have been running the Trident Service Program through our support team for the last, I don't know, 6-8 months, and it has been going really well, okay? Do customers occasionally receive a Trident, in the advanced replacement program that isn't working? Yeah, it happens. It doesn't happen very often. Do Tridents do the DIY service kit and, have issues with, maybe finding parts in there that need to be replaced or having problems with the instructions? Yeah, but I am happy to say that we've sent over a couple. I think it's in the hundreds in terms of these DIY service kits, and to date, I would say 5 or 6 people have had issues in some way or another with it. So it's definitely within the wheelhouse. But as you can kind of see as this video streams behind me, I mean, this is not for the faint of heart, right? This is a process in which we are going to go through every single step, and you need to be what I would call mechanically inclined. Okay, if doing an oil change on your car, for example, is not something that you would do, maybe this isn't something you would want to do either, right? But if you like a project, right, then this is a great solution. It'll roughly take, on average, from what I've heard from most people, once they know how to do it, takes half an hour, if that. If you don't know what you're doing and you have to pause as you go through, the teardown steps and things like that, it's going to take anywhere from probably hour and a half, 2 hours kind of time frame. That is everything that I can think of in terms of what the DIY kit. Now, the reason why I really want to, if we can go full screen, we can leave this up. I think it's kind of cool. It's streaming in the background right now. One reason I do want to address right now is if your Trident is having an error, why the DIY kit necessarily isn't the solution. So there are a lot of parts in the Trident. For example, in this, what we see right here is our PCB cuvette assembly. Okay, it has the PCB, it has the, for the cuvette, which is a LED, kind of sensor that will sense the color change. It sometimes happens where that gets water damage on it, okay? You would be having an error if that had water damage on it. Another issue that can come up is the pinch valves, right? At some point, maybe you had a blocked waistline. And as a result of having that blocked waistline, a tubing came off of the manifold that is in the center of the Trident. I think you're going to see a manifold image here in just a second. And that may have caused water to drip down onto the pinch valves. If that pinch valve is then rusted and stuck, the service kit does not include a new pinch valve. Okay, and we don't want to get into the business of kind of a la carting a lot of different parts at this point, right? At this point, if you were to open up the Trident, you ordered a DIY service kit, and you saw there was a pinch valve, you would need to reach out to our support team and things like that for some solutions. We may say the best solution is for you just to send it in at that point, and we'll take care of it. Now, what happens if we get a Trident back and there's a lot of parts damaged on it? Let's say, you got water damage on the main circuit board or something like that. It's all covered underneath the advanced replacement, right? So it is a flat fee, right? It's a flat $200 fee, and it's a flat $145 fee, right? So there's not going to be additional cost as a result of you doing this. Now, if you were to do the DIY and your Trident's already completely hosed, or you didn't necessarily follow, there might be some additional cost, if you were to go the DIY kit. The other thing that I did not mention about the send in service and the advanced replacement, if that goes well and your Trident is working after that, you get a new 180-day warranty. Okay, if it just comes out of the box and it's not working, you receive it right back, don't worry, we're going to take care of it for you. But when you receive that advanced replacement, you have a 180-day warranty from the day of installation on that advanced replacement or your send in service Trident. Okay, so that is, I think, that is all the details. I've gone through the whole outline. Look at that. So let's see here. There's got to be probably some more questions. So what do we got? So we did have a question earlier. Is this available globally? No. It's only available right now in the United States and Canada. What else? What if you break something during the DIY? Good question, David. So if you do break something during the DIY and it's not in the DIY kit, well, guess what? You'll probably need to send the Trident in to us so we can make that right. We're not going to charge you $75 and $145. We would just do the difference in that situation. And there's little tiny details that we go over in the DIY kit. Certain connectors do need to be connected in a different way. Connecting in the bad way would basically completely fry all the circuit boards. And we are very clear about that as we go through that DIY service video. What else we got? I have the original box. I love that. So I get a lot of grief, in the end, from my friends in the industry, about saving the box, right? I made a big deal about saving the box in the initial setup. This is exactly why. So if you were to have your old box, you would then, and you chose the send in service, guess what? It's now time for that old box to shine. You would use that old box and send it in with us. And you could include the caps if you wanted to. So that is one option. When you obviously get the refurbished Trident, if you select the advanced replacement, you're going to get a new box. You may get a box that's been used. You may get one of those cool saltwater aquarium boxes that have artwork on them already. You know, so we kind of left that sort of fun stuff in the mix so those boxes wouldn't disappear. Plug for Saltwater Aquarium, great reseller of Neptune Systems products. What else we got? So, oh yeah, sure. I want to get it all out there. So what happens if your Trident is not accurate? So I did touch on this. If your Trident is testing and it's not accurate, it could be due to a mechanical issue. It could be due to something that's covered in the service kit, but typically what is more common for a Trident that needs service in the service program is going to be precision issues, not so much gross accuracy issues. So precision, you know, just to remind us all, precision is the repeatability of a measurement, right? Accuracy is how far that deviates from a known sample. Okay, what is the known sample is often the question that we'll go through and tease apart in support. My HANA says it's 9, the Trident says it's 7.5, right? Usually what we'll offer is, you know, the Trident recommending testing the Trident calibration fluid with your HANA. Make sure it matches the outside of the box and a lot of outside of the bottle, and that because that a lot of times can tell. A lot of times too, we'll get, well, my ICP says this. Guys, ICP, it's a great tool, okay? But for any Trident sample calibration standard that we're developing, we send out, I think 9 different tests, you know, to some of the same samples for the same person, all to different people. Even if the same sample of water goes to the same person, none of them match, right? So it's some part of the truth, right? But it's never, we do have in terms of a repeatability. And that's not throwing shade to ICP, it's a great tool. But in terms of it being the absolute value, test it for yourself, you know? Send 3 water samples that are exactly the same and see what you get. What else do we got? Does it come with pinch valves? No, it does not come with pinch valves. If you were to need a pinch valve, that is not something that we typically send out. And so if you wanted to explore that, not saying that it would be possible, you would need to connect with our support team on that. Okay. All right. What else? What else? Anything else, Vincent? I covered that question. If the send in service finds something else is wrong that's not in the kit, it's covered. Flat fee, booyah. All right. I think we are done. I think we're done here. So, when is it available? So, the Trident service page is up. And you can get that to, maybe Vincent can throw it across the bottom of the screen again for me, neptunesystems.com/Trident Service. All right. Look, still working on the Trident there. So neptunesystems.com/Trident Service, and you can get access to it. When can you actually purchase it? So right now, if you were to go through the whole thing, get the email, and be ready to make a payment, at this time, I have those set to sold out. I am going to probably keep them sold out until sometime tomorrow, right? And at that point, those links will become active, inventory will be active, and you'll be able to do it. I am not going to send out a mother load of these advanced replacements on day one, right? If you need an advanced replacement right now and inventory is showing out of stock, contact our support team, right? We have a great number of them built out, but one thing that's also very important to this is making sure you guys return those Tridents to us so we can keep the program going. So it will be kind of a staged kind of rollout in terms of its availability. I don't know what the demand is going to be on day one. You guys may surprise me, and I'll get a lot of blood pressure tomorrow. I imagine that we have more than enough to cover what the needs are for everyone here today. So, But hey, I've been surprised. I'll be surprised many times in the future, I'm sure. So I think that's it. So availability, check. So go to the website now, fill out the form. If you find broken things, send me an email on it. There's a lot of if, ands, and things like that. But it's been working really well for the support team for the last 7 or 8 months. So I'm feeling really good about it. So I think we are done here. Wow, we got a short one. So no giveaways, I know, but I do want to do more Let's Talk Reefs, and I think you guys want to have Let's Talk Reefs. So big thing is content. So I am going to put a post out in the Neptune Systems Facebook group tomorrow, just asking that what you guys want to talk about. Right? What you guys want me to dive into, and we'll see if we can start having some of those Let's Talk Reefs, talking about content that you guys want to talk to. If it's how-tos and things like that, I'm fine with that. If it's what new Neptune Systems products are coming out, those are only available at very special Let's Talk Reefs, like today. But you know, I would love to dive into things. Let me know what you guys want to dive into. So I think we are all done here. Thank you for joining me on this Let's Talk Reef. Thank you for you know, kind of all the support we get from you, our control freaks. You know, it gives us a lot of drive and passion, and I'm excited to finally be able to bring this out to you guys on a kind of a retail level. So I hope you guys all have a good day and stay good out there, control freaks.